How about
There
now?
we go.
Now?
And those are the final coordinates to the best cache I've ever found.
Awesome. Ooh. My computer told me it's time for a podcast.
I heard an announcement jingle.
Guess what? It is time for a podcast. It's so much time for a podcast, I think we ought to start it. So, Wits End, you're going to kick off.
Do it.
I will play some music.
My kicker is warmed up.
Any particular podcast we're going to do tonight?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's do some precious metals.
Okay.
Let's do some heavy metals.
Ooh,
Heavy precious metals.
yeah, there you go. Now we've really limited it.
Hmm.
Are all precious metals heavy? I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
Are all precious metals conductive? Gold, silver, copper, platinum.
Bring us and I think he means any.
Oh.
We can read through typos.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Ready? I'm going to hit the recorder. We're live, and we're going to play music.
Hey. Welcome to Caching in the Northwest, the only podcast dedicated to geocaching in the Great Pacific Northwest. Tonight we're going to talk about caches and caches unique to this little corner of the country, so grab that GPSr and your thirst for geocaching gold. It's time to go Gold Country Geotour Caching in the Northwest.
And we are always thankful for our faithful listeners of this little podcast we have. As an added bonus in the feed this week, the live coverage of the Metro Vancouver geocaching summer games is there. It's over 30 minutes of live play-by-play coverage of those pseudo-Olympic events from our very own Land Monkey and Wits End. Now, one of the things you may notice is that I don't like asking for financial support, and I, for one, am truly touched when someone decides to send us their hard-earned money. So I would like to thank Three Hams and a Rose for their contribution this week. And as an added bonus, he also used the widget on the cachingnw.com page to record their favorite cache. So
Awesome.
Three Hams, catch up with Land Monkey, some event somewhere, and he's going to give you something shiny. So now that I've mentioned his name, it's time to introduce our most precious monkey. Some say he's too easily distracted by shiny objects, and others say his sweat can be used to clean precious metals. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Hello, listeners and viewers, and thank you all once again for joining us on Caching in the Northwest. And hey, if this is your first time joining us, thanks for checking us out. We also want to welcome our very, very special, exclusive shiny guest star, Terry Hadwin, Chief Operating Officer for the Gold Country Community Society. Terry, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming along. We always like having great listeners, great guests. And, listeners, you know that we love hearing from you about our favorite caches and caching locations in the Northwest. Tell us in your own voice. Each week on the podcast, we'll play one. Just be sure to call in to 253-693-TFTC with your favorite cache, and we'll play it on the podcast very, very soon. Your message only needs to be about 15 seconds. It's enough time to say your geocaching name, the GC code, name of the cache, and, of course, why it's your favorite cache and you like it so much. If we play it on an episode, you will win some very, very cool swag. And as you may also know, when we have a guest on the show, we ask them to share their favorite Northwest cache. So, Terry, time to put you in the hot seat. What is your favorite geocache in the Northwest? I'm thinking it might be part of the Gold Country Geotour.
I think I might shock a lot of people because it's not part of the Gold Country Geotour, my favorite geocache, but it is within the Gold Country region, so not a big shocker. The GC code, I wrote it down here because I would forget otherwise, is GC4MG7H, and it's called In Case of Fire Break Cache, and it's on the Hat Creek Ranch road, and it's very unique, and many people will love that entire trail. It's filled with very unique caches. I do have a favorite Gold Country Geotour cache, which is called Cougar Point. The reason why it's my favorite is because the first time I came across it, it just blew my mind, the amazing view that it had, and that GC code is GC3PB9D, and it's my favorite.
Great.
Fantastic. Well, those are now going on the Land Monkey must-find cache list. I don't think I've found Cougar Point or In Case of Fire Break cache yet, so I'm going to have to go through my logs and see. But speaking of things people must do, how's our contest coming, Bad Cop?
Well, you know, it's funny you should ask. It's going really well. Just before we started the podcast, there were 39 to 40 entries vying for those top 4 honors. And we're in the final 2 days for the, are you guys ready? Hashtag Geocache Road Trip Contest. Remember, you have until the end of July 31st. That's tomorrow. Today might be yesterday. I don't exactly know when you're listening to us, where you're listening to us. But email those photos with the hashtag Geocache Road Trip somehow inserted into them to geocaching@gmail.com. And you could win prizes from Land Sharks, How to Puzzle Cache author Cully Long, Munzie, Cache Advanced, Open Caching North America, coinsandpins.com, World Caching. There's just a lot of sponsors. Now, if the contest is closed when you hear this, don't fret. There's going to be more chances to win prizes throughout the year.
Absolutely. We have lots of swag and lots of contests and all that fun stuff. However, if your hashtag Geocache Road Trip Adventures this August bring you to the 5th and final geocaching.com block party in Seattle, make sure you visit us at our Caching in the Northwest booth. We would love to talk to you and hand you any prizes you may have won. Delivery in person. How's that for service?
That sounds like excellent service. And speaking of delivering prizes, and off the top of the show, there was a mention of Three Hams and a Rose needing to catch up with Mr. Land Monkey. Well, we actually caught up let me think about it. I think it was Monday night. So we did catch up very recently. So everything's been taken care of. And Three Hams and a Rose, thank you so much for your support of the show.
Great.
In so many ways. But yeah, if you come out to the block party, you will likely find the Land Monkeys, Mrs. Land Monkey and Mr. Land Monkey, roaming all over the block party and the surrounding neighborhood. We may need to be roped in or stabilized in some manner. But if you want to cameo in an upcoming episode of Land Monkey's Geocaching Adventures, come and see us. Say hi. Even if you don't want to be on Land Monkey's Geocaching Adventures, just come and say hi because we're nice people. Now, another contest we want to give you notice of is the Open Caching North America, OCNA, 5th anniversary contest coming this August. All you need to do is find or place an OCNA, Open Caching North America cache sometime during August 2015 to win great prizes. Details are on the OCNA blog, and we will put that URL in the show notes. Yeah, and it's still me. Look at that.
If I can interrupt quickly,
yes.
Our research department, otherwise known as Brightline,
yes,
has posted the URL to the 2 caches that Terry likes, both the Cougar Point and the In Case of Fire Break cache.
Awesome. So if you're following the show live and you can see the Q&A, you can grab those right out of there.
Very cool.
Fantastic. So in other news, I want to thank Explore Gold Country and the Gold Country Tourism Group for tweeting out the following article this week. A 17th of July 2015 article by Destination Canada News staff reports, "It is official again. Canada has the world's best reputation." Yes, folks, it's time for Canada to bask in the global limelight again. The Reputation Institute's 2015 Country Rep Track report has named our country the world's best reputation, ahead of Norway in second place and Sweden in third spot. Canada came out as #1 country to visit, live, study, and work, as well as placing second as a destination to invest in and attend or organize events, like geocaching events. Key drivers in the rankings were Canada being a safe and beautiful country with friendly and welcoming people, as well as an appealing lifestyle. People across the globe perceive Canada positively based on their direct experiences and through the lens of others, says Fernando Prado, Reputation Institute Managing Partner. Now see our show notes for a link to the full article, but all I have to say is, Canada, Canada, oi, oi.
All right, well, that was awesome, and I have to say that I have to agree that Canada is awesome. The people are awesome, and I've loved it all the times I've visited up there. Most recently for that Olympic event that you just have to go listen to that bonus segment and hear all about it. In other news, south of the Canada-U.S. border, Spokane's first geotour is set to launch at 9 a.m. Saturday, August 8th. That's just a week from this Saturday if you're listening to us live. And it's still a week from this Saturday if you're not listening to us live. It just might be closer to where you're actually listening to it. It is at Riverfront Park, which is an awesome, huge park in Spokane. I have spent many happy times there. 40 geocaches have been hidden throughout Spokane County in locations that highlight Spokane's great history. Participants will use a passport to track their progress and earn points toward a collectible geocoin prize supplied by Cache Advance, the Spokane Valley Geocaching Store and Company, and frequent guest of Caching in the Northwest. Great people over there. As mentioned, the festivities begin at 9 a.m. in Riverfront Park. It's up in the North Bank shelter near the last remaining Expo 74 butterfly. If you've been there, you know what they look like, and they are kind of fun. 12 years before Expo 86 in BC, there was Expo 74 in Spokane. So there'll be a brief overview of the GeoTour, and then the passports will be handed out as the geocache locations are released at 9:30 a.m. So apparently you're not going to be able to get a head start on this. GeoTour team members will be on site till 5 p.m. to hand out passports, assist geocachers, and teach anyone interested in learning more about geocaching. For more information, go to SpokaneGeotour.com.
All right, well, look out, Lisa. If you're listening, we are coming to do that GeoTour, and I'll send you an email with more details about how you can help us out. But geocachers, don't forget that July 31st also kicks off the next stage of the geocaching.com Summer Road Trip Adventures, where you can earn yet another fantastic souvenir for your virtual trophy chest by attending a CETO or finding and properly logging an Earth cache between July 31st and September 3rd.
And nobody knows more about properly logging Earth caches than our very own land monkeys. Hey, while you're out there enjoying this worldwide game board of the great outdoors, remember to be aware of forest fire dangers. Just recently here in town, I was listening to the Drive Home News traffic report, and the traffic reporter said, well, another day, another brush fire. So they're even having them here in town along the freeways, but even more so out in the wilderness where there's just more stuff to burn. So be careful out there. Pack out whatever you pack in. And if you see any fires or smoldering, and certainly don't light any of your own, report it. In BC, you can call star 5555 toll-free on most cellular networks, or 800-663-5555. And in Washington, you can report a forest fire at 800-562-6010. And we still care about the other places in the Northwest. I just don't have the phone numbers handy. So call somebody.
That's right. And, we're getting back into the hot weather. So, it's hot this summer. Remember to bring, like me, and use, unlike me, sunscreen. Hats, lots of water. Maybe enough to put out a brush fire if you come across it. Bring more water than you think you're going to need. It's hot out there, folks. And if you're taking your GeoPooch with you, bring enough water for them, because likely all the creeks and ponds they're going to want to drink from, they're going to be dried up too. So before we wrap up our news and information here, we want to remind you that we're always interested in your news. Geocachers, we want to know if you've claimed your latest geocache road trip souvenir from geocaching.com, whether it's the T5D5 or the High Five for the Earth or caching on a 105-degree day. Tell us about your epic adventure and send that audio along with us in an email. We can read it on your behalf, and you can still get a cool prize from our somewhat overstocked prize vault.
It is pretty full. Yeah, I've cached on some warm days, but I don't think I've cached on a 105-degree day. That doesn't
just fit with the rest of the fives.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like nearly as much fun, but hey, it's still geocaching, and that's a lot of fun. Okay, our patient guest, Terry, has waited while we got through our news, our announcements. Terry, we've been looking forward to having you on the show all summer, and, I'm excited, and I think the rest of the guys, everybody is excited to learn more about the Gold Country Geotour. So let's start out by people that may not know exactly what it is. Can you give us a quick background? What exactly the Gold Country Geotour is?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Gold Country Geotour, we were the first Canadian geotour to be listed on geocaching.com. We're still the largest Canadian geotour on geocaching.com. We were one of the first 4 geotours listed on geocaching.com, and as you can see from how it's grown, it's grown substantially, and we're still kind of proud to be a part of it for so long. We have 144 geocaches throughout our entire area, and the Gold Country region is approximately 9,000 square miles large. We cover very historical, valuable sites to go and visit, or geological wonders. So every spot that you go to visit has some kind of meaning to it. So the exact spot that you're standing is going to teach you something about where you are standing. So the geocaches are valuable in that sense, and geocaches really, really love that part of our geotour. We have published books with beautiful pictures and imagery that go along with the geocaches. It's even been certified, translated into French, into German. So it's pretty substantial. Every one of our geocaches has letterboxing clues that go along with it. So for the technologically not so competent people, they can still go out and find the geocaches. We've tried to look at it from every single perspective so that everybody can take part. You don't need to buy the books to take part in our geotour. You can download the books completely 100% for free on our website. However, if you do purchase the books, know that that goes to the ongoing maintenance of our geocaches, and that keeps the geotour strong. When you find 24 of our geocaches, you collect stickers at each one of them. When you send us a sticker sheet of 24 stickers, we send you a souvenir trackable gold bar, no questions asked. And a lot of people have been taking part of it. I have the numbers here. It's something like since 2009, our geocaches have been logged online 35,000 times. 35,000 times. So that's 35,000 logs that we've looked through on emails and made sure that nothing's wrong with our geocaches. And then whenever something really unique comes in for our logs, we also highlight those on the Log of the Week blog on our Facebook page, just to let people know that we really appreciate the little bit more than the TFTC letting us know the story about what brought them to the area and what they enjoyed about the area. And even if they're complaining about the heat or the cactus or whatever, if it's a unique log, we love that and we'll highlight that.
That's fantastic. Terry, sorry, I just wanted to throw in here, one of the comments you made is about the books and the descriptions and the photos. And I think one of the things that Mrs. Landman and I love the most about the Gold Country Geotour is going through the book and reading just these little snippets of history, and the fact that you've gotten family handed down stories of accounts of what happened in these areas, and the history and the background. It's an entire compendium of Gold Country history wrapped up in a 144 cache geotour. It's amazing. The work that you guys have put in this blows my mind.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of work went into this geotour, absolutely. A full year of 9 to 5, making sure that we had the facts accurate, and to be fair, I mean, I talked about the Cougar Point being my favorite Gold Country geotour, but my favorite Gold Country geotour that has the best story is the Mary LaFeck story, which is about a woman pioneer who walks from Merritt to Logan Lake without shoes. And that's incredible to know that history and to know that that happened and you get to stand on their homestead is it's very, very cool. And you wouldn't be able to erect a sign that says anything about that or to really promote a tour with a tour guide to bring anybody to that area, which is why the GeoTour works so, so perfectly for us.
Now, Terry, give us an idea how the Gold Country Geotour first came about. What started it? What kicked it off?
So it came about before my time. I've only been with Gold Country for about 3 years, and the GeoTour has been going strong since 2009. But from my understanding is that it all came from a Google search of cache, as in Cache Creek. And no word of a lie. So, and then somebody found out about geocaching, and they said, you know what, this would be really unique. This is something that we should look into. And there is a lot of humming and hawing because of concerns over safety and that type of thing. But we just let everybody know that if they're involved in it, it's an unguided tour, and there are going to be risks. I mean, don't get me wrong, you could potentially come across a bear on our trail, and we ask our people to be 100% prepared for those types of things and have water with them, and just always prepare for the absolute worst, but know that you're going to have the best time.
Nice. I hear you just tap 2 sticks together to keep the bears away.
That's all. That's all.
No, you just cache with someone who can't run as fast as you. We all know that.
You don't have to outrun the bears. You just have to outrun a slower person. So we had a question come in before we even get started tonight from one of our frequent listeners, Brylang. He says, if I have multiple sheets of stickers that I collected this year, is there any benefit to that? Is there a reward for finding more than 24 caches?
Yes, and I'm going to have a very cheeky response to that. If you find 48 sticker sheets, you get 2 gold bars. However, what a lot of people do not know is if you complete an entire phase of one of our geocaches, which they've been released in 2 phases, so there's the first set of 72 and the second 72, you will receive a puzzle coin. And ask anybody who's received one. They are gorgeous, they are phenomenal, and they are well worth going after. Plus you have the rights to say that you finished an entire phase, and that those puzzle coins give you the clues for you to decipher to lead you to the Gold Country puzzle caches. So many people don't know about those, so that's something to seek after.
So wait a minute, you're telling me 24 gets you a gold bar, 48 gets you another gold bar, 72 gets you a coin, and then 144 gets you a second coin.
Well, yes, and you can also earn the other 2 gold bars in between.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes, so
That's
for
incredible.
every 24 you get the gold bar, which is a trackable souvenir, and then when you finish either or both of the phases, you'll get a separate puzzle coin for either of the phases.
Great.
That's very
incredible.
Cool. That is. That's awesome. I did not know about those puzzle coins, and that is very cool. So I guess we're going to have
Monkey's doing this week.
Unfortunately, we have other plans, but we will be getting back to. We've done a good chunk of the Gold Country Geotour, but we'll be getting back on it. So yeah, we'll be up there again, Terry. Don't worry. And there's a lot of caches, period, but there's a lot of great caches. Now, something else I've heard in talking to others about the Gold Country Geotour, some feedback that I heard is that a lot of folks feel that you really need to have a high clearance or a 4x4 vehicle in order to complete this series. So if someone was keen to tackle it and thinking about everything they need to do you have any advice on how or where people should start to tackle this series, Terry?
Yes, definitely. And the reason why we have the high clearance vehicle geocaches is we wanted to be all inclusive to every geocacher out there. We wanted to definitely have geocaches that were right in town so that they were easy to get, but then we also wanted to have a bit of more of a challenge and have some more extreme hikes and that type of thing. What's been happening lately with a lot of people that want to complete our Gold Country Geo Tours is they'll go onto the Ash Cache Facebook page or any other Facebook page that's in their geocaching realm and ask other people, hey, I really want to go out and do this, and are you interested in coming along and doing it with me? And do you have this type of a vehicle? And you'll get a group of 10 or 12 people going out to do a certain geocache. And I'm not going to lie, some geocaches that we have within the GeoTour, you do not want to drive right up to. I have ruined a 4x4 bumper going over a road that I really probably shouldn't have, but I did, thinking, oh, well, I can get within 45 meters of this geocache. And on the way back up from the cache, seeing a bumper on the side of the road and saying, you know what, that wasn't there when we came down. And fair enough, it belonged to my truck. So, you know what, some of the vehicles you probably really should park a distance away. And the great thing about our geocaches, too, is within the write-ups, we let you know this needs to have a 4x4 clearance vehicle. So you're not going at it blindly. You are let know that you may or may not want to take this challenge.
So don't try this in a Prius, is what you're telling me.
They still will, absolutely, and they'll race there. Trust me.
Okay. Nice. Terry, are there any events associated with the Gold Country Geotour?
Yes, yeah. For the last few years, we have been hosting a Gold Country geocaching event. The first year we held was a 9-day event, which was extreme. It was hard for the staff and it was hard for the volunteers, so we decided to taper it down to just a 4-day event. So we do it over a long weekend. This year we are doing over the September long weekend, and if you take part in our Gold Country geocaching event this year, you have a chance to win a real gold bar that's worth $1,500, which is pretty cool. Wow. So basically all you really need to be doing is geocaching in the area during the event and earn your participant chances. And you don't need to spend any money if you don't want to, but if you do, of course, it increases your chances a little bit by either purchasing the registration bags, which again you don't need to do, but it's always worth it because we always have a trackable in our cash or our registration bags, and it's always worth it to buy our registration bags. Everybody always thinks so, but you don't have to. And yeah, for the last 3 years we've had a geocaching event. We definitely would like everybody to come and check it out. If you want to learn more details about our geocaching events, the information is on goldtrail.com, as is all of our other GeoTour information.
That sounds great. I got to get up there and get some of these things done. It sounds like some of the best caching in, well, anywhere is up there in the country.
Exactly. There's some more in the Q&A, which I think fits in well here. Wet Coaster says, did you bring us any gold? And you just mentioned you did.
Yeah.
So go up to the event. You have a chance to win a real gold bar. That's really cool. And 3 Hams in a Row says, I just Googled, image search the various Gold Country coins and the gold bars. They're gorgeous.
Thank you.
So there you have it.
So there's just a whole mess of caches up there on that. I think that's the technical description in the Gold Country.
The metric.
Yeah, it's the metric mess.
A metric mess, yeah.
It's the mess trick. There's a whole mess trick of.
I love it.
I know you've already told us some of your favorite caches, but is there a cache in the series that tends to be the most favorite of the geocaches that have found them, that have completed the tour or part of the tour?
Yes. For the last 2 years, it's gone back and forth between two different Gold Country Geotour caches, and one of them being the transportation hub Gold Country Geocache, because everybody who comes through our area wants to cache in Cache Creek, and you can't blame them. And then another really much favorited geocache is called Marble Canyon. And rightfully so. It is gorgeous, and it's very, very much similar to the Grand Canyon, or as close as you can get in Canada, how I feel anyways. It's beautiful there, and just as much favorited, almost as much as the transportation hub, back and forth.
So Terry, is that one that you're talking about in Marble Canyon, that the Painted Chasm one?
Painted Chasm, thank you, sorry. I was thinking about Marble Canyon, yeah. That one is not so much favorited because that one's hard to find, actually. And that's to bring up a story about geocaching. That one is a love-hate relationship with me, is Marble Canyon, because I've tried to find that cache 3 times. The first time I got to cross a frozen lake to go and find the cache, which was kind of cool. Looked around, couldn't find it. The second time I went there, the first time I went there, people were climbing the frozen waterfalls, and I didn't have a camera to take a picture. So it was just an experience that I got to remember. The second time I was there, it was after a forest fire, and there was maybe 10, 15 kids that were playing in the mud, and they war-painted their faces, and it just was such a surreal experience. And again, I didn't have my camera. The third time I was there, I found a wallet that had a credit card in there that expired in 1978 or something like that. So I could find a wallet that had been lost since 1970, but I could not find the Marble Canyon geocache. So go figure. But yes, I was talking about the Painted Chasm.
But that was a really, really good set of stories.
Thanks.
Yeah, it is. Just give cache another 20 years before you go find it, because apparently you can find things that are 30, 40 years old, so
Yeah.
you'll be fine. Oh, now, are all these traditional caches, or are there any other types of caches thrown in? Maybe earth caches for our favorite monkey over there?
We had really wanted to do an earth cache to be a part of our geotour, but we just didn't have the knowledge when it came about and to get it set up in time. And so we didn't want to put something out there that we weren't 100% confident about. And so they are all traditional geocaches, except for the 2 additional puzzle caches that were just really released as an extra bonus. And they do have stories along with them, and they are very much a part of the geotour, the puzzle caches, but they were kind of set up as a thank you so much for taking part in our entire geotour, and we really want to congratulate and thank you, because we know how hard it can be to get through all 72. Not that you won't enjoy it, but we just know that it's quite the journey to get through all 72. So we just wanted to give that extra little bonus of the puzzle caches.
That's cool, and certainly when you do a earth cache or any cache, you want to make sure it's done right and done quality. And if anybody out there wants to learn about earth caching, go back and check out a prior episode where we interviewed some Gary from the Earth Cache Academy.
Yes, good point. Absolutely good point. And actually, on that note, I'd also point out that in our experience of the Gold Country Geotour caches that we have completed so far, there are a number of earth caches proximate to some of the Gold Country caches. For example, Painted Chasm, because it's such an amazing geological site, there is actually an earth cache there as well. It's not part of the Geotour, but I mean, you go there to get the Geotour cache anyhow. So there are a few. I think another one is one of the mineral lakes, where when it evaporates, you get all the mineral deposits on the surface of what little bit of water is left in the summer, and it's a fascinating spot too. But hey, Terry, as I've said, I can guarantee that us land monkeys are going to be out again in the Gold Country to find more of these amazing caches and film more episodes of our Land Monkeys geocaching adventures to share the experience. Now, if someone wanted to learn more about what's coming up, what's new for the Gold Country Geotour, where should they go, or who should they talk to?
Okay. So they're always welcome to call or visit the Gold Country office, but I definitely recommend visiting our websites. So we have our regular website, which really helps you plan your trip into Gold Country, lets you know all of the accommodations of where to stay and places to eat and other events that are going on in the area, and that is exploregoldcountry.com. And then if you're really specific to wanting to know about our events or our geotour or our geocaching happenings, to visit goldtrail.com.
Very nice. Well, thank you, Terry. I mean, we just talking to you makes me want to go up there and get these caches just this week, but that's not going to happen. Unfortunately, I have work and all this other things that encumber me. But thank you so much. I mean, this really was a lot of good information on the Gold Country Geotours.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap up the episode. That's episode 105 of Caching in the Northwest. So we've got some more great shows coming up. In a few weeks, we're going to talk about insights and last-minute tips as we hit the last block party. And on August 20th, we're going to let you know how that went with the block party and the ape event afterwards. You know, it's part of our hashtag geocache road trip adventures all summer long.
Absolutely. It's a great summer for a hashtag geocache road trip. Before we wrap up this episode that we have to do, we always like to check out and let people know where to find us and find more information about us out there on the interwebs. So as good hosts, Terry would like to ask you first, where would people find you and more information about you?
Okay, we are just about everywhere on social media, so you can find us on Twitter and Pinterest and on Instagram at Gold Country BC and on Facebook at Explore Gold Country, and I'm pretty sure our YouTube is the exact same, Explore Gold Country.
All right. How about Land Monkey?
Well, us Land Monkeys can be found on Twitter at LandMonkeyGC and the same place on Instagram. On Facebook, look for Team Land Monkey, and on YouTube, just search Land Monkey and you'll find us. Don't look for Lax Monkey. I don't know what Lax Monkey is, but it's always the first result for some reason. But Land Monkey, no X.
Yeah, the only LA I know is an airport down in California. Hey, Bad Cop, where would they find you?
Well, I lack monkeys, but that's completely different. On Twitter, you look for Caching NW. On Facebook, Caching NW. Google Plus, also Caching NW. What about you,
All right.
Wits End?
I am Wits End. Twitter Wits End. Facebook Wits End. Geocaching Wits End. All that stuff Wits End. Google.com/plus Wits End US. Yeah, Wits End. Phone number 347 Wits End. I'm
How
at my
cool.
Wits End.
You are the Wits End.
Right.
Well, as always, we'd like to say we thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. And don't forget that you can be part of the show. You can call 253-693-TFTC, leave us a comment, ask a question, give us the final coordinates to a D5 puzzle any time of the day or night. Of course, you can always email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Don't forget that your support helps keep the quality of shows coming. So if you like this show, please click the PayPal button on the cachingnw.com website. This show's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2015 by Chris Umfenauer. Good night, folks.
Thanks, everybody.
And we are clear of the recording. But we are still live on the interwebs on Google Plus. So
that means behave myself?
Yes, a little bit.
Just a little. Not too much longer.
But Coaster says he's going to bring bananas for the Land Monkeys.
Oh, good.
Everybody always thinks that's my favorite food, and I don't know why.
Well, you know, I found out this week that there are two major groupings of monkeys. There's Old Country and New Country monkeys. Or New World, sorry. Old World.
I was going to say, what if we
monkeys.
just don't like country?
Oh. And Yeah, so the new world monkeys have a prehensile tail where the old world monkeys don't.
So
There you go.
So if you don't have a prehensile tail, you have to have like a pen tail then for writing? How does that work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know the song.
If it doesn't have a tail, it's an ape.
It doesn't have a tail, it's a monkey. Even if it has a monkey kind of shape.
Yeah.
Thank you, Larry the Cucumber.
Let's see. Dora Moore says her favorite Gold Country cache so far is GC1T1Z. See how I did that?
Thank you. Yes.
Cornwall. It's in Canada. You have to say Z. Cornwall Hills Park and Lookout. It's a gorgeous view, and we had quite the adventure getting there with Delta Dodger and Gnome 4. Breiling says that the Cornwall Lookout is in risk of being torn down. So, it gives a website.
You know anything
there.
about that, Terry?
I do, yes. So it's a old forestry lookout, and what's really great about this geocache is it's had a logbook in it that dates back to the 70s. So when so when you go into this lookout, which the Gold Country geocache is hidden a little bit of ways away, so even if it was torn down, the Gold Country geocache would still be set up. But of course, it would be heartbreaking to see it dismantled because you see this amazing and great structure that is still in perfectly great shape. That's been set up for the forestry lookout, but is no longer really needed. I mean, with technology these days, and so they're looking at tearing it down unless somebody can basically adopt it. So we in the area are very much concerned about this because we think it's a structure that's worth saving, and even just to check out that logbook that's been there since the 70s and see what people have to say about the bears and the moose that they've seen in the area. And yeah, it's a remarkable place that I very much hope can remain intact.
Sounds like it.
Amazing.
Should start a campaign to save the watchtower.
Absolutely, it's already in effect.
Oh, okay, good.
Awesome. Well, Terry, if you want to tweet out the link for the Save the Watchtower information, I'll make sure that we forward that on to as many of our followers as we can, just to
Absolutely, yeah.
publicity on that. And I got to say, the thought crossed my mind when you were telling us about a logbook from the 70s. I have to ask, did you find it?
Yes, yeah, it's in the tower. It's amazing to read all of the stories, and it takes hours to really look through all of it because so many people have written so much stuff, and some of it is just to say that they've been there, done that, and then others are to say that they spent a week up there, and you get a piece of their life.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see. Breiling says he's found at least 54 of the Gold Country caches this year.
Nice.
And I have more stickers in the car.
Well, they don't help you in the car.
Yeah.
Put them in the book.
Well, that means he's found 48. He should have 2 gold bars.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm just
Send
saying.
him, and he'll get his 2 gold bars.
Yeah. Gold press platinum.
Ooh, different.
Oh, it's different.
3Ham says Land Monkey is definitely an old world type. He likes pasta, lasagna.
Lasagna.
It's true, he does.
I like lasagna.
You got to carve up before you go geocaching.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, 3Hams also says, yes, special guest. The co-hosts are always nuts with their little dances they do during the musical intro.
Hey, we're nuts even without dancing.
That's
That's
the
true.
warm-up.
Terry, we didn't warn you about that, did we?
No.
Surprise. Awesome.
We should come up with a geocoin for guests that survive a stint on caching the Northwest.
Ooh.
Well, we do have a path tag.
That's true, we do.
Actually, Terry, if you want to, well, I guess I have your office postal address. I'll send you up a path tag in the mail.
Yeah, awesome. I'll add
Thank
it to
you.
my collection.
Let's see, did it focus on it? There, almost, there it is.
It's a beaut.
Your hand is so big.
Yes, my hand is huge. It's like this big.
Bigger than your head.
It's hard to find gloves.
Good
Oh, dear.
one.
So Dora Moore is in the Q&A still, and very patient lady, and comes back and says that they earned 2 gold bars last year, and this year actually have access to a 4x4 truck, so they want to go back for sure to get more.
There you
Nice.
go. I just got it popped up. Sorry, I was a little late on that.
Oh, that's all right. No worries.
Here there might be a bumper up there.
Yeah, if you find a bumper, please return too.
Please bring it back.
I have to say, from our experience doing the Gold Country, and we actually went up again this spring and focused in the Logan Lake area. And I think that's what we found is we tend to try and just do it over a weekend, and we'll just find an FSR somewhere where we can pull over to the side and sleep in the back of the truck, and you can get quite a few caches done in a weekend, but it's a lot of driving. You got to be prepared that you're covering. I mean, what did you say it was 9,000 square kilometers?
Square miles.
Square miles. There you go. So that's like 1,000,000 square kilometers.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how I do the math.
Good call.
Yeah, your
In
math
Australian
isn't right.
miles, man. That's who knows what they are in Australian miles.
That's bigger than the continent of
You
Australia.
have to invert them.
They do everything different down there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Terry. There's just so many aspects of the Gold Country Geotour that we love. It's just one of our favorites. So we're just so happy to have had you on the show, and hopefully we'll be able to get you back on again, maybe in the fall or next spring.
Yeah.
I'd love to, and I'm sure I'll see you at the block party for sure. If you don't.
That was my next question.
I'll be there.
Yes, we'll be there.
Let's see. Last year, were we neighbors? No, I think we were separated by one tent.
That's right. We were separated by one tent, and I came over and talked to you for a wee little bit about our geo tour. But yeah, let's hope. We should even ask if we could be neighbors and just take the block party by storm.
Why not?
Why not?
Well, and in addition, our friends from California, Sunny and Sandy, will be at the block party as well.
Oh, nice.
From the Podcacher fame. In fact, they're making a special little trip up to Vancouver, and I've organized a meet and greet event in downtown Vancouver, not far. Well, actually, Wits End, in one of the places where we were at the Digital Orca.
Oh, yes. I have a picture of my daughter with you, Digital Orca.
Digital Orca. You know, we have nice people that listen to this podcast.
8-bit Orca, I believe.
We do.
Brylang says, it's 23,309 square kilometers. Just saying.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. People who can do math.
That's close to It's gobs.
Gobs, yeah. Dora Moore says the Wild Thingies got stuck on a hill in their van last year. It was quite the story.
Yes, they did. They did, and they said that they were crazy to try to do it at the time of hour that they did. But they're the Wild Thingies, so who would expect anything less of them? And
there you go.
they are some of my favorite geocachers. They are just full of adventure and great stories. If we have time, one of my favorite stories that one of them told me was about how she was telling her daughter that she was going off geocaching just to be safe so that somebody would know where she was going. And she looked down at her text message, and then her friend said, "Oh, who was that?" And she's like, "Oh, that's my mom. She's on crack." This is like a 70-year-old woman telling me that her daughter thinks that she is on crack. So obviously she's addicted to geocaching, which is great. Far better than crack.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Wild Thingies are awesome. Jim, you met them. I don't know if they were formally introduced to you as the Wild Thingies, but you did meet some of them up at the event. And Terry, I think you really make a great point of you hear the stories about the Wild Thingies and the things that they've done and things they're planning to do, and you have in your mind like, oh, these must be some 24-year-old extreme athletes or something, and no, they're not. But they're awesome. They're so friendly and helpful and hilarious, and no fear.
No fear. No,
Nice.
beautiful.
Well, there's a picture of the digital orca for the bad cap to see.
Looks like it's made out of Lego.
Yeah, it kind of looks that way. It's pretty good sized.
Looks like it's perfect for the new Pixel movie.
There's one.
Oh,
from
there you
Yes,
go.
it does. It does look like that. So that's Dream Painter there, my daughter, with the digital orca over her shoulder, which is very close to the cauldron right there, I must say.
The unusual pile of sticks. Is there a
Yeah.
geocache hidden underneath it?
There we are. I made Land Monkey take lots of pictures of us that weekend. So
Has your finger recovered, Land Monkey?
Yes, mostly.
Okay. Let's see. Air Rooster says, I wish
Were there wild thingies?
I was a little closer to to do the tour, but Spokane is a long way away. And IHAM adds that Sunny and Sandy will also be at the Spokane Geotour launch.
Nice.
So
Cool.
I won't be able to make that one. I'm doing a father-son camping trip that weekend.
Good for you.
Very nice. Well, folks, what do you figure? We've got just about wrapped up for the evening.
Yes.
I think so.
Well, Terry, again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It has been so much fun talking with you. You're a great guest.
Yes.
Thank you. You're great hosts.
Aw,
Oh, gee.
Ah,
I'm blushing. Okay, good night, folks.
Let's go out on a high note. Night, everybody.